Thanks for tuning in, Searching for Truth here. Let's start with a little prayer. Father, I just pray for peace, and I pray for peace of mind. Pray for protection over the situation that we're all currently dealing with. I pray that the ones listening to this, that they can spread the word, Father, and just be with us in the coming days. In your precious Son's name we pray. Okay, so let's get right into it. So I've been doing some research, checking around. I know everyone's afraid of what's going on in the news media. My biggest advice to you is to turn off your TV and start researching on your own. You should totally do that. I'm going to give you some information, but even the information I'm giving you, I want you to check it out, look through it, find your own research, and study on your own time, because obviously we have plenty of time to do that now, being that we're stuck in the house. So there's no reason, no excuse that you can't go out and actually study and try and find if the stuff I'm about to tell you is true. As we all know, we have an immune system that was given to us by our Father in heaven. It was created to fight against disease, bacteria, any sort of pathogen that were to come into the body. It's made to fight against it. Now, what would our enemy's first line of defense on their end be in regards to weakening the other team? I guess you could say, if you want to say it like that. What would their first line of defense be? How would they go about doing that? The answer is take healthy individuals, crap on their immune system, and weaken it, and cause them to become sick and weaker and defenseless and docile and all the other things that most of us are these days. I'm sure most of you know who Louis Pasteur is, Louis Pasteur. The reason that we have pasteurized milk, basically what he did was he went in and heated up milk to a certain temperature, and it killed germs and bacteria in it, thus creating what was known as the germ theory. However, that we were taught in school. This that I'm about to tell you, we were not. I've literally never heard of this until last night, to be honest. But since last night, I have continuously pushed and found as much information on the topic as I possibly can. Probably can continue to find more, and I will. But just wanted to pass along information as I go. So, on his deathbed, Louis Pasteur, and you can Google this, he said, "I was wrong. The germ is nothing. The terrain is everything." So, that set up the terrain theory, which was created by Bernard and I can't remember the guy's name, but I'll get it for you. Here it is. Béchamp. Antoine Béchamp. Apparently, they found out too, which this seems to happen quite a lot. It happened with Einstein and Tesla. Apparently, Pasteur actually stole a lot of the ideas that Béchamp originally had come up with in his path to try to figure out how the immune system worked. Pasteur stole a lot of his ideas and created his own theory out of it, which is very similar to what you hear with Tesla and Einstein. Béchamp's model, which is the terrain theory, says treat the patient, not the infection. So find out what is wrong with the immune system, treat that, and then the immune system will take care of whatever pathogen or infection or disease or whatever's in the body. It'll take care of it. Well, this is the first I'm sure most of you are hearing of this. Like I said, I just started looking into this stuff. I've been looking into it for a few days, but I just came across the terrain theory last night. So how does a virus work? Well, a virus is acellular, meaning it doesn't have the components of a cell, so it's not a living cell. It has to use the host that it infects, whether it be human, plant, or animal. It uses their living cells to replicate. They use DNA and RNA, which are found in everything, to replicate in the host. Well, if the immune system of the host was intact and not weakened by any means, then the host could fight off this virus. So essentially, this theory of the terrain theory is that we're made of energy, which, if you think about it, we really are. Everything is about energy and waves and things like that. Well, basically what he is saying is if anything disrupts the energy from traveling through the body correctly, any disruption in that, any blockages, can cause room and set up room for disease, infections, things like that. Well, there are 8 key factors that could possibly cause this. So, we have poor nutrition, which, think about the American diet, think about any diet. Most diets are garbage, that they've pushed these chemical-laden foods on top of us. Most of us don't eat fresh fruits and vegetables like we should. We don't eat the things that we should. A lot of the food that we eat is processed, and it's because it's been pushed on us since we were born, so that's just all we know. Okay, so 1, poor nutrition. 2, malillumination or poor lighting, deficiency or light frequency. Okay, so malillumination. They block out the sun a lot with their chemtrails, so we're not getting the proper illumination that we need to help our body's immune system continue to thrive and grow. Hypoventilation or underbreathing or shallow breathing, inactivity or lack of exercise. Think about that. Obesity is on the rise here in America especially. And why is that? Because of crappy diet and lack of exercise. Electromagnetic pollution, so the effects of a 60 cycle current, otherwise known as a microwave. Yes, your microwave that's sitting in your kitchen is actually a tool used by them to help weaken your immune system. Is that kind of hard to believe? I don't really think so when I actually sit down and think about it. Also, number 7 would be negative thoughts or emotions. Everyone's depressed. Think about that. They've literally hit us with all this negativity all the time. If you continue to watch the news, you will stay in a state of depression because everything on the news is negative. It's either used to create fear, depression, and things like that, because either they're talking about, how many people were killed in this certain situation, or, whatever. But it causes depression if you think about it. Also, structural imbalance, meaning basically heavy metals getting sprayed. Oh, I'm sorry, I left that one out. Environmental toxins, that's number 6. Environmental toxins, which are primarily man-made chemicals and heavy metals. So there's heavy metals in just about every single thing that you use, all the processed garbage that we carry. If you go and read the ingredients list on anything, you're going to find some sort of metal in your deodorant, just simple as that. Literally, that is all that it is aluminum, and they call it antiperspirant. Go read it. They spray freaking metals in the sky with the chemtrails, like I was talking about earlier. Basically, if you go to NASA's website on the subject of chemtrails, it'll actually show you that they spray like barium, strontium, and aluminum, and something else. There's one other one. I don't know it off the top of my head right now. However, go look it up. I challenge you to do that. And then also, like I was saying, structural imbalance. So meaning that your body is not balanced. It's not in homeostasis, which homeostasis of the body means that there's no sickness. It's mellowed out. It's balanced. It's the way that it's supposed to be. We're in a homeostatic state. So if you think of any of that stuff, if any of that stuff sounds like something that might possibly be going on in the world today, do you not think that literally we don't need to worry about the virus that's floating around supposedly, and we need to more be focused on cleansing our temple? Our temple. Your body is your temple. It's God's temple. We are the church. We need to cleanse the temple. There is some stuff out. It's called MMS. I suggest you guys look into it. Don't just Google it, because Google will tell you that it's bleach, and it is not. I'll put some links in the description below. You should totally check it out. Don't do it because I'm telling you to do it. Check it out for yourself. Determine it on your own terms if you want to do it. I've been doing it for over a month now. I have not been sick. Actually, I started it when I had a cold, and I literally got over my cold within 2 days. So, it's just, also, I diet and exercise pretty regularly. Not gonna lie and say that I don't eat garbage food here and there. I do. However, I need to work on me and not eat that stuff because it's toxin to my body. It literally creates a toxic environment. So we need to work on that. We need to pay attention to what's going on around us and turn off the TV, bro. Just turn off the TV and research, study, learn, read. So this is my opinion. I'm going to give that disclaimer before I say anything. This is just what I think. I have not done enough research yet to find out if this is fact, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. Maybe you guys could do some research and get back to me. So anyway, the CV has actually been around for quite some time. They've discovered 4 different types. This recent type is supposedly the H1KU. My theory and my thoughts on this is, if you were to go to that testing site and get tested and say that you did have the common cold and it ended up having CV in it, then your immune system more than likely built up antibodies towards that particular pathogen. So, and I don't know this for fact yet, I'm still looking into antibodies. However, your body builds up antibodies. That's how your immune system combats the pathogen. An antibody is a protein that combats an antigen. An antigen is the pathogen or disease, dysfunction, whatever foreign body object that's in your body. Your immune system builds up antibodies against that antigen. So, my thoughts is, do I still have these antibodies floating around in my body? And if I were to go get a blood test, would it show? Is that what they're looking at? Because I feel like I've looked through a couple of things and it says that they pull and try and see if you have antibodies to the CV to determine if you have been infected with it, because supposedly in their opinion, the antibodies will stay in your system for about a week or 13 days. And if you have some in your body, whenever they check your blood, then that gives them a positive reading for the CV. My question is, do antibodies continue to float throughout your body to kind of, be your own little natural defense system, so that if you were to get that CV or any other antigen that possibly decides to come into you, those antibodies would kick on immediately and go ahead and fight it off. So do they float around in my blood anyway, and so that if I go and you tell me that I have it because I have antibodies that have already been there for X amount of years, you know what I mean? So I'm still looking into that to see exactly how long antibodies last in the body. I know that they replicate and they move into the B cells and things like that, but again, this is just my opinion. I don't know that that's fact. It's really a question. If you guys could figure it out for me and help me with this, that'd be awesome. Anyway, I appreciate you taking the time. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. And have no fear, guys. Seriously, have no fear. We are in the Father's kingdom. He's going to take care of us. We just got to turn to Him.